In a moment, but right now on the patio with me is James Stevenson. He is the chef not only in La Jolla but also Gaslamp Strip Club. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How do you do both of those? That's amazing.
You know, it keeps me busy, but thank God traffic on the 5 is not too bad.
I bet it does.
Yeah.
Okay, you basically have some commandments of cooking steak on the grill.
Sure. So there's about 5 things I just want to teach you guys about, and it's
Should we
first off,
identify which one's which
sure.
first here.
You want to know your cuts of steak. So right here we have a porterhouse steak. Right here we have a 14-ounce bone-in ribeye. Then we have our signature Gaslamp New York strip, and then we have a filet mignon and a top sirloin as well.
Is there a most popular at the restaurants?
At the strip club, our New York strip is definitely
the strip.
best.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
Sure, hence the name. You can't, you don't name it filet mignon.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So a couple things. When you're going to cook steak, you want to make sure that it's at room temperature. If you put a cold steak on the grill, it's going to seize up a little bit, and it's going to make the meat get real tough.
And that's a good point, because a lot of people do just grab it out of the refrigerator and throw it in there, but don't do that.
Yeah,
Give it some time to breathe. Okay.
And also, too, once it comes out, you want to come to room temperature because the steak blooms, and that's when it gets that nice red color on top of it.
Okay.
So one thing I like to do is just put a little oil on it so it doesn't stick to your grill.
And that's just common vegetable oil?
Yeah, you want to use a blended oil, and olive oil is going to burn because it's a much thicker oil.
Okay.
And then I like to use our strip club rub, which is my recipe that I made for the restaurant years ago, and you can also actually purchase it there.
You can get that at either restaurant?
Yeah, at either restaurant. And you want to coat it.
Do you want to mush it in at all, or just?
I don't like to mush it in, but I always like to do both sides of the steak.
Just flip it over and put some more on there.
Got to do both sides of the steak.
All right.
And then once you spin it, also all that excess that's on the plate is going to also stick to the steak as well.
All right, now we're talking. Start to look good
All right. So then we're going to go right to the grill.
Now, you always prefer gas or charcoal? Does it make a bit of difference at home?
I prefer gas.
Yeah.
Charcoal is going to give you a little bit of a different flavor. So if you're looking for that charcoal flavor, absolutely, you could go with it. You could also put some wood chips in there as well. I'm just more comfortable with gas myself.
Sure.
I'm used to doing it that way. And then the reason I'm starting these steaks on an angle is because we want to get those perfect crisscross grill marks.
Now, when you say an angle, I see. So, just like that.
Right.
All right. You want to crisscross it.
So what I teach people when they're going to do this is you want to think of it, remember when they taught you how to drive and they told you 10 and 2?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with your steaks. Start it at 2 this way, and then we're going to move it to 10 this way.
Okay, now.
And it's going to give you that nice angle.
How high is the flame right now?
I have it cranked up. What you want to do is you always want to start out super hot. That's what's going to get the grill marks.
All right.
After we mark both sides of these, we'll then turn it down so that way the steak cooks through in the middle and it's not going to burn on the outside.
All right, and the finished product, of course, is going to look like this.
Exactly.
You're talking about the crisscrosses. There they are right there. Yeah.
So we'll move them over.
All right, now as far as knowing when they're done, tell us how you do that.
Well, you know, people have always done a cheek test, but I prefer to do what I call the finger test on it, where you always see professional chefs, when they're cooking a steak, they're going to touch it on the grill.
Right.
What they're feeling is the firmness. As steak cooks through, it becomes more firm. So if you take these 2 fingers here, and you feel that part of your hand, see how it's nice and meaty like that? That's what about a medium rare steak feels like.
Really? Okay.
So if you go up to your next finger, you feel that muscle firms up a little bit.
Tighten up.
That's about a medium.
Look at this.
Go to your ring finger, medium well. 4th one, real firm, charcoal.
Charcoal. You know, if you get to that point, you've probably gone too far.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's great. All right, any other tips you can give us? We got to run here in a moment.
Yeah, one thing too, you see that flame kick up, you don't want to sit a steak in the middle of a hot flame. It's going to make it taste like carbon. So if that flame starts to kick up a little bit, just move the steak out of that flame.
Do you always need to watch it? Can you walk away from a steak? Or
you can. A fattier cut is going to burn a little more because that fat's going to drip down and hit your flame, and that flame's going to kick up, and then again that carbon flavor is going to come.
How long for like the thickest one here, which is the filet?
For a filet mignon, to get it to about a medium rare, which I prefer, you do about 10 to 12 minutes, and the big thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you cook it evenly on both sides.
Okay.
If you don't, one side's going to cook further through, and then the other side's going to be a little more rare.
Got to go, but let people know where these 2 locations are.
Gaslamp Strip Club is at 345th Avenue in downtown, and then La Jolla Strip Club is at Costa Verde Center in UTC. And I also just wanted to say today's my mom's birthday, so I want to say happy birthday, Mom, back in Philadelphia.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank you for having me. I
on.
appreciate it.